it's your favorite kind of mom here. And as you can see, I'm out and about right now. Just walking to the store with my baby girl. Get my exercise in for the day. But I wanted to talk to you all real quick about a little article I read online today, okay? And, I always do my little cannabis research. And I came across an article that kind of hit close to home. So I wanted to share it with you guys and see if you all can relate, or if you've been there, or if you know someone that's been there, and figure out how we can change this fucking situation, okay? So, anyway, read an article in a publication called The Californian, I believe it's called. And there was a man, I guess he had a relationship with a woman, and they went their separate ways. 9 months later, he gets a phone call from the hospital saying that there was a baby born, it's his baby, and the mother, she's incapable pretty much for taking care of the baby. So he has to come down to the hospital and, pretty much legally take care of this child. Okay? Sounds cool. So he gets down to the hospital and he's talking with everybody, and then here comes Child Protective Services. So, they do their initial investigation and interview and blah, blah, blah. And then they ask him, well, before they even ask him, I think he offered to tell them that pretty much he was a medical marijuana user. That he has the card, and that he's a user. Before he even did a drug test or anything, he told them that up front. Which shouldn't have been a problem, you would think, right? But obviously it was. They gave him a drug test, which came out inconclusive, and they still wouldn't let him take the baby home. And this was in 2015, guys, okay? And 3 years later, he's still fighting to get custody for his child that obviously the mother couldn't get back, and the child's been in foster care ever since. And I think that's horrible. You know what I mean? And he told them what the situation was. He let them know that he had a medical marijuana card. You know what I mean? And if it's legal, what's the good of having a card if it's situations like that, it doesn't save your ass, right? Told him he had the card, and they still didn't give him his son. So I said all that to say I can totally relate, and I didn't know that it was affecting families everywhere else too, okay? I live in Georgia, and I had a similar situation happen to me, but I was pregnant with my son, my youngest son, and, I vaped occasionally throughout my pregnancy just to help with nausea and things like that. And when my baby was born, everything was fine and dandy until they did the blood work. They pricked his little foot or whatever and did the blood work. And they came back to the room and told me, Mom, baby's looking wonderful, everything's well, vital signs are great, blah, blah, blah. But we found some THC in his blood. And I'm like, okay. Well, that's probably due to the fact that I did vape occasionally, because I was nauseous and, it helped me sleep at night and blah, 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 blah. And at this time, I'm like, I'm heated, okay? I got an attitude. Nurses are trying to come in and talk to me and calm me down and shit. And at this point, I don't even want to hear it. Because why is CPS even talking to me about something naturally that I chose to take in my body for myself and for my child's well-being that's legal damn near all over the country? Why am I still getting persecuted for that? I didn't understand that. And when I say it was a whole thing, okay? CPS, there was a lady that came to the delivery room and had to talk to me, my fiance, interview my children, and then on top of that, she wouldn't even let us leave the hospital. We couldn't leave the hospital with my baby until she went to my house and was able to check my house out and make sure that it was suitable enough for her. Like, what the fuck? That was baby 3 for me, okay? So you don't think that my house is suitable enough by now? Whether I freaking partake in cannabis or not, I'm definitely a good mom and can take care of my kids. So I was definitely taken aback by that. But again, the lady reassured me, it's just protocol and, we're mandated to report it and blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, all right, bitch, is what I'm thinking. And about a week later, once I got home, ring, 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 phone's ringing again. And who is it? The same CPS lady Now she wants to come over and do an interview and check where I live and where my kids are and where my baby sleeps, and wants to make sure I have food in my fridge and shit. Just totally violating, to me, my right as a human being. I just felt so violated. So if this is happening to you guys, let me know. If you guys can relate, and honestly, after all that investigating, about a month later I got a package in the mail, and I was told that pretty much they chose to label me as a child abuser because of my choice. So right now I'm dealing with that as well. So, Canna Moms, if you can relate, this is some shit that you've dealt with or somebody else you know has dealt with, let me know.